Hey everyone, just want to stop by real quick for the podcast starts and say you like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media at John D. Klauser, little the name as the name that you subscribe to on this YouTube channel. So enjoy this clip, and I'll see you guys on the other side.
What are you doing, dude?
Did not take a picture of my food.
Did you just take the crust from your pizza you just ate and put it in the middle of this? What's wrong with you?
Try to find that big bite. You're not making fun of me for this, dude. It's a good idea.
Welcome to the John Show with your host, John Doogie Klauser.
All right. What's going on, everyone? How are you? We are here on a new episode of the Juan Solo Show with your host, me, Juan D. Klauser, and or John D. Klauser, whichever one you prefer. So, what is this, episode 142? And we're just going up every episode. Every episode, we just do one more. Like last week, we're at 141. Wait. Yeah, no, 141. Yeah, all right. Oh, man. It's, my cough. It's just so horrific. Such a horrific thing. Isn't it awesome? It's such a great sound. Listening to a grown man cough into a microphone, and then watch his eyes slowly get beet red. That's so good. So we're here on a new episode, like I said, and yeah, I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing great. It's so funny. Like, I just took a sip of this Bud Ice. Usually I drink two beers, tall boys, right? I drink Bud Ice, or I'll drink like natural ice. I just like the ice ones, just because they're cheaper and they're not malt liquor. I'm not a big fan of malt liquor, even though malt liquor has like about the same amount of alcohol content. Actually, let's look this up. Let's look at malt liquor versus beer. Alcohol content, beer is typically less than 5%. Then malt liquor is about 12. And like the thing is, like, nothing's wrong with malt liquor. I don't mind it. It might be because I'm a brown person, but I don't mind malt liquor. It's just not my first choice. But in retrospect, if it's 12%, I might as well drink malt liquor versus drink thing, because like I'm drinking for. I want a beer substance, but I want the highest alcohol content of that beer. And so that's the purpose of it. That's the only reason why. And like, let's look up why, what is like beer ice versus beer versus regular beer. Let's look at this. Ice beer is a beer style in which beer undergoes some degree of freezing during the process. This brand generally has a higher alcohol content than regular beer and generally has a lower price value than the beer. What makes ice beer different? Most beers are brewed, fermented, and just about aged chilled around 30 to 35 degrees. Ice beers are chilled below freezing, about 27 degrees, to create an ice crystals. Fans say that this texture gives the beer a smooth taste. I mean, I guess it does. It gives it a better taste. And maybe that's the reason why, because like the whole reason I'm bringing this up was because I get, natural ice, or I get Bud Ice. Those are the two things. I get those are the two beers I usually get. And I don't know. I just think there's no beer that tastes good. People are like, well, like I had this beer that tastes good. I'm like, you're lying, because things that taste good are things like orange juice and Gatorade and, like soda, a Coca-Cola. Those things taste good. Beer doesn't taste good. You drink beer because of the content and what's going to do to you. You do it because it makes you, it's a social lubricant. It's a way to relax. If you're like, you stressed out a little bit, you have a beer to relax up from a long day's work, and it's something you can drink with pizza, because sometimes it's good with pizza. Sometimes it tastes good with chocolates. So that's the reason why you don't drink it, because it's, oh, this is fun. This is fun to drink, because you would just drink orange juice, or you drink like flavored water. You drink a soda or a pop, whatever one you prefer, whichever part of the United States you're a part of. That's what you do. You wouldn't spend time drinking alcohol. You drink alcohol to feel loosey goosey, to feel like a loose goose. So that's the whole point of it. And I always usually drink Bud Ice, the tall boys, because I'm like, 6 pack, drink 2 of them. It's like basically drinking like kind of like drinking 4 beers. It's whatever, and you're done. And that's it. You're done for the day. And then but the grocery store I went to yesterday, because every Monday what I do is I make a feast. I'm like, okay, what's something we could do? I have lamb. I'm like, okay, let's get some lamb. Get a recipe. I do a bunch of research, look up a couple people's ways how they cook it. I take like, okay, I'll take that part, I'll take that part, take part of that part, and then I'll make my own recipe. And then I just, that's what I do. And the thing is with my recipe, there's really no like, everything's on feel. It's never, okay, so like like a quarter ounce of sugar or anything like, it's nothing like that. So it's like just very minimal, like just list of things, and you just buy them and you just do it. Yesterday when I went to the grocery store to get my food for the thing, because I was just making spaghetti. I was gonna do spaghetti, then with like I was gonna do. I'm like, well, like this is the thing. Like I was like, should I? And I'm like, no, you can't be lazy, because like the whole point of it is you do it to practice, to work on knife skills, to work on timing of like being able to do being a multitasking, be able to do multi things at one time. You do it for like plate presentation. It's just like, it's an artful thing. It's an art thing, and I think that if you want to do art, I think it's important to do things that you're not good at. And so when you do those things, it keeps you humble, keeps you in a mindset, and it takes you out, and then you're able to become a better artist at what you want to do. Just my theory, just my opinion. That's what I think it is. I think it's good. And cooking is a really good thing, because it's something that you need, because you're going to eat. Like I've never understood anyone that's like, well, I can't cook for shit. I don't like. Then learn. Just teach yourself. It's not hard. I mean, there's challenging times, but it's not the most difficult thing in the world. But it's just me. This is just my philosophy. This is what I think. It's just that if you want to be good at whatever you're trying to be good at, then you should also do other things to make yourself that you're not that good at. So then you can, then you also cherish, like when you're good at your thing, you cherish that thing, because you're like, well, yeah, there's a bunch of shit there's other stuff I do that I'm just really bad at. So, but anyway, I tell you all this to tell you this part. So they didn't have any of the beer that I wanted, so I got Busch, and I took a drink. I drank one last night, and I was like, this is just not as good as natural ice. This is just not as good as Bud Ice. Bud Ice, in my opinion, is the best one, because it's just Budweiser. You're just drinking Budweiser. That's all you're doing. I'm just drinking Budweiser. And nothing. Budweiser is a great beer, and that's the thing. Is like, I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. I should have got Budweiser. I shouldn't have gotten Busch, because Budweiser, in my opinion, is just like it's the most generic beer, but it's just a beer. I'm not trying to re-innovate. I'm just trying to just drink a beer. It's better. It's this or tequila. I just don't really feel like drinking tequila all the time. Like, as nice as tequila is to drink on the rocks, like, it is not a pleasant thing to taste at all. And so when I do like tequila on the rocks like that, like, it's more of like if I'm hanging out with people, I will do that, and because it's more of a thing that you can just kind of chill, sip on, get like I get those, like, I have these rubber things where you fill up with water and it makes like these circle ice cubes, and it looks really classy, it looks really nice. You just do that. It's just, you don't have to be crazy with it. It just looks nice, and then drink that. Then every once in a while, drink a beer. You can drink, but I don't ever, like, whenever I pick one thing, like, so if I'm drinking beer, that is all I will drink. if I'm drinking tequila or if I drink like a liquor, I'm only gonna pick one liquor and that's it. I don't mix and match. I don't like to mix all that stuff because that's how you get really sick and that's how you throw up in Ubers and have to pay for them. Not saying that I've ever done that because I've never actually, surprisingly, this is probably one of the most surprising things. Is like I've actually never gotten drunk out in public and then like taken like a taxi or an Uber home. Well, I have, but like and then thrown up in said taxi or Uber. Never have because I don't get out in public. I don't get that drunk because I don't drink out that much out in public because I just don't want conflict. In my opinion, if you want my honest opinion, I just don't want a lot of conflict. So the best way, I think maybe like twice. Once in Tijuana, that was really dumb and I was really young. And then the other time when I was dating that girl from, I want to say she was from Ghana, and then what was so funny was, so we went out and then like I connected a bunch of straws together. Now I'd like go over people's shoulders and drink out of their drink. I was just wasted and just drinking, and apparently some guy said something to one of the girls that we were with and made her cry, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And then I had unprotected sex with with the girl I was dating, and then the next morning she's like, why didn't you wear a condom? I'm like, I don't know. Why didn't you stop me? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, you're a doctor. Like, what the And that was, yeah. And then we broke up shortly after that. She started dating some white dude. And I'm like, good for you, girl. I'm like, good for you. I'm like, good. I'm like, that's fine. And it was so funny. I remember even asking, I'm like, was it something I did? And like, if you ever have to ask a girl, was it something I did? 100% of the time. No, 200% of the time. It's something you did. That's the reason why she's breaking up with you, dude. It's like if you think it, you did it. It's the best word of advice. It's probably one of the best word of advice I can ever give to a guy. That, and it's only gay if you put it in your mouth. I can't take credit for that one. That was a friend of mine who said that. Who likes guys. Who is a guy. I'm pretty sure yeah. I don't want, yeah. Let's just move on. Ice beers, but yeah, I don't know. I guess it does have a smoother taste, so maybe that's why I enjoy it a little bit more than I guess a regular beer. But like, I don't know. And then too, like I'm not bougie in that sense. It's not that big of a deal. Like, I don't like IPAs. I don't like that. I think all that stuff, and I don't like a lot of fancy stuff, like those like elaborate cupcakes, elaborate like donuts. Like that stuff makes me so mad. It makes me so mad that I don't know why it does. It's like it should not make me mad, but it infuriates me because I'm like, why can't you just eat a glazed donut? What's wrong with there's a glazed donut? Like what's wrong with there's a blueberry donut? Like, and the funniest thing is, this is how crazy I am. I was like, can I get a blueberry donut? I went to a donut place, and they're like, blueberry. They're like, yeah. I'm like, well, we have these. They were called like party cupcakes, and it was just like, and I'm like, what? Party cupcakes? They're like, yeah, it's blueberry, but that's what we called them. And I'm like, I'm good. And they're like, you don't want a this is what you wanted. I'm like, it is. I'll just take a glaze though. They're like, you just want a glazed donut? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I don't like the name. And it was like simply just because of the name. It was a blueberry donut. That's what I wanted. But I'm like, the fact that they even call them like party cupcakes too. Party cupcake, party donut thing. And I'm like, nope. Nope. If it's just called a blueberry donut. Just called a blueberry donut. And we would have been good. We would have been done. It would have been fine. The moment it gets some fancy stuff to it, I am just like, I do not want this. Like, understand, you're talking to a man who's, I would say 95% of my meals are just rice and chicken. And then if I do get crazy, I'll get Chipotle. And like, just because it's like, I'm like, it's different. And guess what it is? It's basically just, what I get is I get rice, meat, cheese, and then pico. So basically meat and cheese. just basically just meat and rice. It's just I'm real foreign like that I can just eat. It's just easier for me. It just makes more sense. It's just like I don't understand. Like people are like, "You're so picky," and I'm like, "I'm not picky. I'll just eat rice and chicken." Because you never know. I don't know. I just do it. I can just do that. And it doesn't bother me. Like, I can never do it. I'm like, I don't know. I think it's just willpower. I think anyone can do anything in that sense. Like, you just willpower. And, like, don't get me wrong. Like, there's things that, like, gummy bears. I love gummy bears. I think they're great. Bud Ice. I think these are great. There's things that I enjoy that are not healthy. Like Coca-Cola. I fucking love Cokes. Like, so much. I hate this chair though, and so I do not understand anything really. The elections going on. There's elections like midterm elections, like your governors and stuff like that are the people that are what's going on right now, and yeah, apparently right last time I checked, it was like Missouri's voting on, because that's the state I live in. If you didn't know, that they're voting on legalizing marijuana for recreational use, and right now it's like 51 yes to 49, I believe, no. But that's like I think only like 42% of the ballots have been all drawn, which is like I think there's a good chance it'd be awesome because it'd be cool. I think it'd be. It's nice because it's just starting to. It's weird because like it's because you're seeing. I was getting a lot of political ads and like that, from YouTube, and I was getting this one all the time about how like vote yes on 41 in Denver. I don't know why I was thinking I was living in Denver, but it was like vote yes on 41 on Denver, and it was basically for medical use of like mushrooms. And I'm like, guys, this is where we're at in life. Like we're so past weed, and like it's just like alcohol now. It's at the same level. Alcohol. And plus, like I don't think a lot of it's like that shit. A lot of it's just I don't know. I would like to say like I used to say but I was like more of a kid. But like like a lot of cities can use that for tax money. So I'm like I don't even know if does it even help. Maybe it does and all that stuff. I've done very no research on it all. I'm just like it seems like one of those things that should be legalized because it's just like kind of silly. It's not there's no deaths on it. I mean, there's deaths like if you're driving a car and you're high and then might crash into a tree or something, but just ingesting it you can't overdose on it kind of thing. So, but just because I'm saying this does not mean I think that everyone should smoke pot. It's like with anything. There's some people who can control and can drink beer and be completely fine and like drink 2 of them and like think that they're a complete utter asshole. And they're like, okay, John, you gotta slow down. You gotta stop. You gotta slow down. You gotta stop because like you can't. You're gonna develop a problem. Versus there's people who can't. Once they drink one, that's it. They're just gonna drink a whole 30-pack and they'll just drink a whole and that's so crazy to me that there's people that have that mindset. And I don't know. But there's some people who would look at me, be like, why do you have that mindset of like you're just gonna do a podcast every week? It's weird that you just like every Monday you just do it. Like, I don't know. So it's the same thing. It's that same addiction thing. I guess an addiction is an addiction. Would it be? Or I think more my thing is like an ADHD thing. Look at me self-diagnosing myself. Yeah, my self-diagnosis. God damn it! Like it was so funny. I haven't even looked at any of the notes. I've literally talked about nothing from what I wrote down. Which I wrote down one thing this week. Well, I didn't even know what I did. Oh, how I fall asleep. This is so weird. I envy the people who can just fall asleep. Like they can just they were just full blown watching a TV show and they can just turn it off turn out the lights and just lay in bed and fall asleep. I don't get, because like for me, like I'll take like a big bong hit and then I'll hold it as long as I can and I'll blow it out. I'm like, okay, my brain's tickly. It's like it's like the tingles. It's not like you're not like blasted high, but you're just like you have the tingles. And I'll just lay in bed. And I have to like talk myself into it. So what I'll do is I pretend I'm just like, okay, boom. It's just me. It's like a POV version of me. I can see my hands. I can see things around me. In the room, like everything starts dissolving off the walls. Like it's just like imagine like you're in your living room, and then like everything starts dissolving off the walls, and it's just a black walls, black ground, and then you see like this large pyramid, like Mayan pyramid, come in. It starts floating up to you, and then it stops, and it just like lowers down, and it like as it gently like as it's like hitting earth. And then like so there's these steps, so I would start walking out, and like this is all I'm thinking about when I'm like in bed, like, but I'm also probably I'm high, so I'm just walking up these steps, and at the top of it I meet this Mayan god, and he has like this all these feathers and these big like what do they call it, like they're like those they're almost like it's like a rock earrings, but they're the huge things. And he's like, come here. And he's like, just lay down. And like, there's just then up rises this big pile of marble. It's like a bed made of marble. I just lay on it, and then like I see just stars, and then they start getting stretched out, and then boop, I'm asleep. It's the weirdest thing. And probably, and my thing is, like, is there like, I can't be the only one that does things like that. Like, do people just like focus, or I'll really just try to focus in on the little circle, like in the middle. I'll just pretend like when I have my eyes closed, I'll just pretend there's a little circle, and I just try to focus on it. And when I focus on it, boom, I just go out. It's weird. I don't know. It's weird. Weirdest things that it's just like I have to talk myself into sleep. It's like, oh yeah, it's time to go sleep now, because like I could just because if I don't do that, then it's 3 o'clock will roll around. I'm like, oh fuck, it is 3 in the morning. I should probably go to bed because I have to get up at 7:30. So woof, John. And then my right eye will twitch. My right eyelid will twitch, the top part, and that's how I know if I am not getting enough sleep. It's like fuck. And then daylight fall backward time? I don't know which one it is. That just happened. And is that so weird? At like 2 o'clock, you hit 2 o'clock again, something like that. Amen, brother. But yeah, so this is a wrap. Yeah, what do we got? We got like 5. We got like just 6 minutes left, just under 6 minutes. So, yeah, we're here. I don't know. Life's crazy, right? Don't you think? Ukraine stuff still going on. That's a thing. God. Like, that's just so insane that we're it's just like we're so on the brink of World War III. We have no idea, we're just like over here in America, we're just talking about them and theys and pronouns and people acting like cats. I don't know if even that's true. You have dudes like me talking to a microphone, talking about absolute nonsense. You have a good time. You have a good thing here in America that we take for granted quite a bit. Voting today, I didn't vote. I've never voted. I'm 33. Never voted once. I'm not born in America, so I kind of feel like it's not my battle. Even though, like, even as an American, even as like someone who's an American citizen, which I am, that's my right to be able to vote. I'm just like, Yeah, I mean, like, it affects me, I guess. It does, but I feel like I'm just on the outer edge of humanity. So I'm just gonna, I just will stay out here, and then whatever happens, kind of happens. Because there's people in cages. There's a lot of shit other else that's going on, and like the thing is, like, what I really don't understand is like these primaries. All it is that like someone is just bashing the other side because they're like, this person's with this person and that person did this, this, and this, so like they're part of that problem too, and they don't tell you anything of what they're trying to do. They don't tell you anything at all. Then they're just like, vote for me, and you're like, okay, but what do you do? All I've gotten that you just talk shit. That's all you've done is just talk shit. All you've done is talk shit. And there's not this like, hey, this is why I do, this is why I want to do. I really want to just like, I want to make this area better in the world as best I can. There's none of that. It's just all just talking so much shit. So I'm just like, there's no need to be involved in this. I don't really want to be involved in this. It's so weird, and I feel a little of me feels like I know I should be, and I'm missing out on something. I know I am. I'm fully aware, and that's where I'm smart at. I'm not smart enough to be super smart, and I'm not dumb enough to not be like, that's stupid. Like, I'm like, I know it's stupid that I'm not doing it. I know it's stupid, but I'm just like, I feel like I'm just not responsible enough. What's the word? Mature enough in that sense. I read enough. I'm just like, I don't want to be involved in any of this in any ways. Means I'll just stay over here in the corner. Like, I'm just lucky to be be American citizen. So like I'm cool with that. Like I'll just stick with that. Like I'm playing with house money right now, and I maybe it's just my thing. It's just my way of being respectful. Like I'm totally respectful for people when I meet someone who has served. I'm always like, thank you so fucking much. Like, you allow me to do dumb shit, and I'm like, I think that's where it ends. I'm not gonna vote, so I'm not gonna cause anything. I don't want to be a Democrat. I don't want to be a Republican. Really not. I'm not either. I'm not anything because I don't vote. So I think, do I have a mindset on stuff? Do I have an opinion on things? Yeah. Do I lean kind of one way more than another? Possibly. But do I also feel like I can be total one way with one thing, but then also another thing be another total opposite the other way? Like, yeah. There's even like the thing with like as being Jewish and trying to now figure out like these people. There's people who are saying like there's like Jews, the original Jews are black, and then there's like Jewish, which is like people who are white. But I'm like, now you're just coming a white and black thing. That's what you're trying. That's what I feel like it is, and I kind of get upset by that. But I'm like, that's not how I should be thinking. I should be like asking questions of like, no, why is there a people in the black community who think that blacks were the original Jews? I'm curious. I want to know. I'm not like, because that's where you get intelligence. That's how you get better and learn. Versus me just being angry at me, like, oh, that's stupid that you think that like all black, because you could used to be like, oh yeah, like, well, not all black. Why do black people were the first things that are Jewish? Like, what the fuck? Why do they have to say that? And I could just be like, that's stupid. And I'm like, no, I really want to know why. Like, I'm curious, like, because like, who is it hurting? Who is it hurting? There are so many people before me, so like, I have no merit in this race at all. So how would it affect me if like black people were the original Jews? I don't care. Okay, cool, awesome. Like they're the original people who made music. They're original people who made a lot of shit. So like, why would this be any different? So I'm just like, whatever. But I'm just like kind of curious on this because like I don't, because I just, to me on the surface it just looks like a race thing, like whites and blacks. And I don't want that. I don't like that because it's like, that's what we're trying to avoid, guys. Don't go down that aisle. Don't go down that aisle. Well, that's my thing. So I got probably about 45 seconds left, but that's the thing. Yeah. So that's what I'll be doing this week is that, and working on this sci-fi short story. Shoot me now. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys on the next episode. Be safe. Do something interesting. Do something different. Get a hobby. All right.